Well, this is an 8 by 10 canvas. Now, to put an 8 by 10 inch painting together on a canvas seems kind of ridiculous. And I paid with my deduction, my special price. This thing was over $14 for an 8 by 10 canvas, if you can imagine. Now I live in British Columbia, in Canada. Victims of the biggest rapists on earth. Anyway, that's what I did because I'm expecting a large canvas soon, and I needed something to do. I had to paint on something. So I washed this in. I had remnants of what? Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, yellow ochre. That's what I put on here. So let's take the smallest brush possible. See how small it is? There's my finger. It's so small. It's so cute. Let's do a wash-in over a wash-in. I'm going to not be too inaccurate with this wash-in, hopefully. So we're going to take a little yellow ochre, a little bit of white, titanium white that is. And we're going to add some turpentine in there. Let's paint some trees without painting trees. I'm not going to paint all of the trees, I'm just going to paint the focal area. You know, that whole negative space kind of thing? So let's just play with that. Let's see what happens. You know, if something like this works out, it's often more attractive than an actual painting, as far as I'm concerned. It's just looser, more fun. You know, yesterday, I didn't tell you this, and this morning I was still planning to do it, but the weather was really sour this morning, and the threat of moisture was just too high, so I did not bother. Well, I was thinking of plein air painting today, but I didn't bother going to do that because it looked like weather-wise things were going to sour, and I was quite happy to take a break from painting, so I went shopping. Went looking for a scope for a gun and just kind of poked around, drove around town, went to another town that was close to me, looked at some art supplies, and now I have to turn an ad off. Okay, sorry. And that was my computer. The computer that I have in my studio is so slow and old. It's probably better at grinding coffee than it is at actually anything else. I can't use it to load videos. It's just it's completely shot. Anyway, if I shut it off or put it to sleep when I need to do some work, it takes probably it takes about, it can be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour before it's actually functioning properly again. So I just put on one of those fireplace videos. That way it stays awake, because it has to keep downloading and playing things. Anyway, I don't know if you heard that, but an advertisement came up. And started to make noise. And even with one of those fireplace videos, I'm afraid of content, copyright violation, etc., etc., etc. Back to the Yellow Ochre, and maybe a bit of Alizarin Crimson here, and back into the terps, just a touch. Just, yeah, I washed the painting in, and now the wash that I'm putting over the wash is just a little thicker, just a little bit less turpentine. Funny, though, how quickly a design forms on the canvas. Okay, let's go for a little bit of purple. So alizarin crimson and a little bit of ultramarine blue. Yeah, a little bit of white. Whoops, too much white. Back to the ultramarine blue. Back to the alizarin crimson. It's only 8 by 10, it's not much. So this will be really a study, in lieu of me not going out and actually producing a study. I thought, well, let's just have some fun at home. A little more alizarin crimson, a little more ultramarine blue. I'm sort of worrying very loosely about shapes, but not getting too carried away with it. I'm really mostly concerning myself with values, colors, but very, again, soft, not worried about it, not too concerned about it. Excuse me. Okay, so if you have any imagination at all, I am sure that you see a scene. And yes, it's just looking through the forest. And I'm not going to make this full of detail. There won't be a distant horizon. There won't be sky. It'll just be sort of a close-up study. A composition, if you will, of line and hue. We all remember who hue is. And value. Let me just give this brush a rinse. And let me take a little cad yellow pale. Cad medium orange, a bit of white. Yeah, that's a very strong color, you know. Dipping into the cads in the white. But I'm laying over a dark canvas, so I'm not worried about becoming too bright too quickly. At least I don't think. Because the light fastness of these colors will disappear. The refractive index will take care of any issues regarding that. Add a little more yellow ochre to it, a little more white. And as we know, the oil paint drops in value even within a few hours when you put it on this thinly. Okay, that's just too cryptic looking. Yeah. Okay, that's fun. I'm expecting, as I mentioned, a large canvas Friday, well, tomorrow. It's not supposed to be in until tomorrow afternoon, which means I probably won't pick it up until Saturday. I may begin a sketch on it on Saturday, I don't know. But here, I'm using this as a filler. Let me back up a little bit here. Sorry about the clickety clacks. Whoops. Zoom in, zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. Now I know, like in my comments over the last several weeks, every single comment has been about my pellet gun, my air gun. Like, when are we going to hear back? Did you find a scope for it? Is it okay? Are you okay with it? Is it accurate? Does it work well? So, you know, quit pestering me. I'll just tell you right now, I'm very happy with this thing. It's very accurate. I have a really lousy scope on here that I've had for years. So today I went looking for another scope, looking for another gun actually as well. Traveled far and wide. Didn't find what I liked. But you know, I was talking about putting a heavier stock on here. I have a piece of walnut. I said if I liked this one, I would make another one out of walnut. But this gun is so, it's already quite heavy for a little gun. And if I were to add walnut to it, that would add another pound to the back. And when it comes to these little air guns, 1 pound actually makes a big difference. So I'm just going to stick with this thing. I'll probably just sand the heck out of it and stain this shoulder stock so that it matches the walnut stock in the front. I know that's the only reason you watch this channel. Yeah. Talk to you soon.